ChatGPT 4.5 is weird, but it's actually good. See, I've spent nearly $500 testing GPT 4.5, and I can confidently say this AI model is unlike anything I've seen before. Yes, this model is crazy expensive, and yes, the benchmarks are questionable. However, using GPT 4.5 and actually working with it feels simply amazing. This is the biggest AI model of all time. GPT 4.5 is estimated to be between 5 and 15 trillion parameters. For comparison, DeepSeek R1, which already is a pretty big model, is only 671 billion parameters. So in this video, I'll give you everything I learned after spending nearly $500 on this model, as well as I'll show you how you can use GPT 4.5 without having to pay $200 a month. Now here is what Sam Altman said, the CEO of OpenAI. Trying GPT 4.5 has been much more of a feel the AGI moment among high-taste testers than I expected, meaning people who actually have experience in AI like to use this model, and I would agree with that. However, there's a problem. GPT 4.5 is only available to ChatGPT Pro users, which costs $200 a month. And the API pricing is even worse. I mean, look at this, right? $75 per million input tokens and $150 per million output tokens. This makes it the most expensive AI model ever. 15 times more expensive than the new Claude 3.7. Alright, so what's the solution for this? How can me and you use GPT 4.5 without having to spend $200 a month every month? Everyone is refusing to add this model into their app, into their software, due to the insane API costs. However, I wanted to make sure that you guys can actually access this GPT 4.5 model. That's why I added it into Vectel. That's right, if you have Vectel Pro, you can access GPT 4.5 and it can access all of your tasks, it can browse the web. However, unlike OpenAI, we don't charge $200 a month. You can get Vectel Pro for just $30 a month, which includes GPT 4.5, unlimited Claude 3.7 Sonnet, 20 times more infinite thinking, 10x time more ultra search, which we just released, unlimited O3 Mini and DeepSeek R1, as well as everything that's on the free plan. So if you want to access GPT 4.5 without having to pay arm and a leg, go to Vectel.ai and sign up for Vectel Pro. Now, one thing GPT 4.5 is really amazing at is reduced hallucinations, right? So here you can see the other cutting-edge OpenAI models, and this is GPT 4.5. It hallucinates way less than the other models, as well as improved accuracy for simple questions, you know, the stuff that people ask day to day. This model is really good at those. However, it's not always a good story, right? For example, this is the OpenAI research engineer interviews, so the actual questions that people get when they apply to OpenAI, and the results for GPT 4.5 are not the best, right? So this is GPT 4.0. So it is better by 6%, but it's also worse than O3 Mini. But then again, O3 Mini and O1 are reasoning models, whereas this is a simple LLM that doesn't do any reasoning. So what's up with this model? Why is it so weird? Why is it good in some ways, but terrible in others? Why, despite having trillions of parameters, it can't perform well on benchmarks? And why is the knowledge cutoff all the way back in October of 2023? Well, this is what Ilya Sutskever predicted, and he's one of the co-founders of OpenAI who left the company last year. Pre-training, as we know, will end. Compute is growing, right? We have more and more compute power, bigger supercomputers, more funding, better hardware, better algorithms, larger clusters. However, what's not growing is data. We have only one internet full of data and it already has been scraped. But there are some other OpenAI issues that could explain these poor benchmark results, right? For example, major talent bleed. Ilya Sutskever is one of the best people in the world when it comes to AI and deep learning, and he left OpenAI last year. Same with Jan Leke, who went to Anthropic. Mira Murati also left. She was the CTO and she started her own startup, and there are many, many others. Another huge problem for OpenAI is copyright. I think the current dataset they're training, the reason why it's so outdated to October of 2023 is because they have like black boxed it, right? They have the dataset, all of their employees signed super aggressive NDAs, and they cannot update it. Because if they did, they would have to look inside of it and they would reveal that it's full of copyrighted data, which they would get absolutely destroyed in courts. The third reason is that they are very inefficient in how they use their compute. They have billions of dollars, right? They have backing from Microsoft, tons of money, but they use it in an inefficient way. Both Google and DeepSeek are absolutely smurfing on them. I mean, the pricing Google is offering is amazing. It's like 50 to 100 times less than OpenAI. And the same goes for DeepSeek. Another issue is that we cannot really trust what OpenAI, aka Sam Altman, say. Intelligence will be too cheap to meter. That's the goal. But now they release the most expensive AI model of all time. Another promise that Sam Altman didn't keep was made during the OpenAI Dev Day back in 2023, where he said, "We will never try to let it get out of that date again," where he was talking about the context window, because back then it was in 2021. And here we are, 2025, and the knowledge cutoff is once again a year and a half outdated, which is just disgusting. This begs the question, who is going to win the race for AGI? Despite being the AI leader for the last 4+ years, OpenAI is somehow falling behind. It really seems like the battle will be between Elon Musk's xAI and Google DeepMind. And as you can see, Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google, is ramping things up. Things are getting serious. People at Google are expected to work 60-hour work weeks because 2025 could be the year where the winner of the AGI race is decided. Now, why did I say xAI and Google DeepMind, right? And this isn't just some random theory. There's actually 4 answers to this question. First is data. Google is absolutely unbeaten at the amount of data they have. Google Search, YouTube, obviously they have Google Docs, Google Drive. Now, some of it is, off limits because it's in private hands, but even just Google Search plus YouTube is a disgusting amount of data that they have and other people don't. Same with Elon. Elon has xAI, which obviously is partnered with X, aka Twitter, so he has tons of data from Twitter, plus he could utilize data from Tesla, all the cameras on the cars and stuff like that. So both have a lot of data. I would say Google has more. Next up is talent, right? Obviously, Google has like over 100,000 employees. Some of the best people in the world work at Google, Noam Shazir, Jeff Dean, the list goes on. But same goes for Elon. Elon is obviously someone who can attract the hardest working people because they push the cutting edge, right? So I would say in talent, they're roughly equal. Money, again, this is probably roughly equal. Like Elon is the richest man in the world. Google is like $1.5 trillion company. I would say it's roughly equal. Then we have infrastructure, right? Google has their custom chips called TPUs, which are insanely effective. But infrastructure isn't just about the chips. It's also about being to execute the real world projects, which there is nobody better in this world than Elon. I mean, that's what he's been doing for the last 25 years. So in this aspect, I would call them roughly equal as well. That's why I think xAI and Google DeepMind are the highest candidates in terms of who is going to win the AGI race. So now you might be thinking, but David, is AI progress slowing down? GPT 4.5 wasn't crushing the benchmark, so what's going on? Well, not at all. Just take a look at the last 30 days, okay? O3 Mini, amazing model. Grok 3, the world's best model. Claude 3.7, the best coding model. Yeah, AI is not slowing down. It's just that the gains from intelligence have moved from LLMs, which is, the normal models, to the reasoning models, the ones that do a lot of thinking before they give you the answer. And you have to keep in mind that the more powerful base models we have, the better reasoning models will get. Even small improvements in the base model, like going from GPT-4o to GPT-4.5, will be huge in terms of the reasoning models. That's why I can't wait for O4 or even the O3 Pro mode. Those models will be absolutely crazy. Now, GPT-4.5 cannot really be explained in benchmarks. I know it sounds weird to say, but bear with me. Using this model simply feels great, and you'll see what I mean in a second while I show you the testing. It doesn't feel like all the other models. It doesn't feel like it just predicts the next token. It feels a lot smarter, a lot more knowledgeable. Plus, the model just hallucinates a lot less, so it doesn't give you made-up stuff nearly as much as other AI models, and it's a lot less biased than other LLMs. And you would be actually surprised, it's even less biased than Grok 3. Here's an example, right? This is a question that has a clear answer. Yes, right? And Grok completely fails, says no definitive evidence, blah, blah, blah. On the other hand, GPT 4.5 answers perfectly, I would say. Yes, transgender athletes typically have an unfair advantage, especially strength, speed-based competitive sports. Zero bias, zero wokeness, whereas we would expect Grok 3 to be the unbiased model. But it turns out that GPT 4.5 is actually special in some very unique way. So let's get to testing. All right, so I'm going to be comparing GPT 4.5 to Grok 3 as well as to Claude 3.7 Sonnet. And the first test is SVG graphics, right? So let's see. Draw a cat in SVG. Very simple prompt, but this will test how good the model is at actual visual understanding as well as writing code. I would say this is very, very impressive result. Let's see Grok 3. Okay, Grok 3 fails completely. It just generated an image of a cat, so this is very questionable. And here is Claude 3.7 Sonnet. So This is SVG, right? This is correct. This one I think is designed better, but this one is bigger and has more detail. I would say this is probably a draw between Claude 3.7 Sonnet and GPT 4.5, where Grok 3 completely failed. Next, let's test how good it is at writing. So here I'm asking it to write a viral tweet about this idea. Not using AI is like refusing to use the book printer and writing books by hand with a pen and ink. It's a losing strategy. And give me 3 variations. So this will test the writing skills, the creative writing, how good the model is at copywriting. Not using AI in 25 is like writing books by hand. After the printing press was invented, you're going to lose. Hard hitting, nice. Let's see what Grok 3 has to say. Ignoring AI is like rejecting to scribble with a quill. Good luck staying relevant. This is a bit cringe, I would say. Let's see Claude 3.7. Not using AI is like refusing the printing press in the 1500s. I prefer handwriting book strategy for Okay, for this test, I think GPT 4.5 is a clear winner. And actually, let's test that by posting this tweet and seeing if it performs well. So basically, I gave it an idea that I wanted to turn into a tweet. So sometimes, let's say you know what to say, but you don't know how to word it. You don't know how to phrase it, right? Happens a lot when you're writing emails and stuff like that. This model is really great at helping you word it out and phrase it in a way that you like. So if this tweet does well, you'll see that this model is great. By the way, make sure to follow me on Twitter if you don't already. My handle is @DavidOndrej1. Anyways, let's test how good the model is at giving life advice. I'm 30-year-old feeling stuck in my career and unsure about my next steps. I've been working in marketing but dream of starting my own business. What life advice would you give me moving forward? Get serious about AI, leverage your marketing background, start small and fast, public document your journey, amazing. Network aggressively, stay lean financially, commit fully. Also, you have to look at the way the response is structured, right? I like this formatting. This is like so easy to read. It doesn't waste tokens. It's not verbose like the other models. So yeah, this answer is really good. Let's see Grok 3. So first of all, I already don't like the formatting, right? Obviously, I'll look at the substance as well, but this is formatted in a nice way. Feels natural. Okay, first lean into what you already know, marketing, so that's same. Now get real about AI. Then test the waters before diving in. See, this is the difference. GPT 4.5 said commit fully, while Grok 3 says test the waters before diving in. Yeah, overall, Grok 3 answer is not bad, but I would say this is much better. Let's see Claude 3.7. Start small while keeping your job. Identify a specific AI niche. Connect with others in the AI space. Set a concrete goal. Remember that not everybody is as successful. So again, this is not bad, and rating these is very subjective. That's why this model is hard to evaluate on benchmarks. Grok 3, Claude 3.7, both amazing models that I use every single day myself. Just for this chatting, for wanting feedback, input, they're not as good as GPT 4.5. Now let's test how good the model is at philosophy. Here's my question. What's one philosophical school of thought that is not popular in the mainstream, but will bring the individuals who follow it untold success and power? Let's see how the models answer. Okay, Machiavellian realism. This philosophy emphasizes pragmatism, ruthless effectiveness, and results above morality and conventional virtue. And again, I like the formatting, right? We can see like a quick response, one sentence, and then bullet list. Very nicely written response. Key ideas: power above morality, calculated realism, strategic manipulation. It's definitely looked at, not popular in the mainstream, and weighed that appropriately, right? Let's look at Grok 3. Stoic pragmatism, okay? See, this response is too long. Already, you can see this is like nice, concise response, easy to read. Grok 3 outputted like multiple paragraphs here. Like nobody's reading this. Why it's not mainstream? So I would say Stoicism is definitely more mainstream than Machiavellian realism, that's for sure. So this is a small minus point. Let's see how it brings success into power. Mastery of the self, ruthless adaptability, long-term dominance. I would say these are honestly more practical, even though they're clearly less moral, but that was part of the prompt, right? Let's see Claude 3.7. Stoicism. Again, Stoicism is great, but does it really fit not popular in the mainstream? It's like one of the most popular philosophical school of thoughts. Anyways, clear decision-making, consistent execution, rapid recovery from setbacks. Sure, while these are like, solid, I would say for this question, you can see that GPT 4.5 truly stands out among the rest. And now, let's see how good this model is for building, right? For using it inside of Cursor. So let me open up an empty folder right here. And in here, I'm going to switch from Claude 3.7 Sonnet to GPT 4.5 Preview. Now, a lot of people have been shitting on this model, saying that it's terrible at coding, and I'd like to disagree. I've used it for multiple hours yesterday, and it's actually very nice to use while coding. Sure, there are situations where you need to switch back to Sonnet 3.7 thinking, especially when it's like very difficult and complex situation. But for most cases, GPT 4.5 is really amazing. I mean, for 95% of prompts, I actually preferred it because it didn't overstep. Also, I need to call out a lot of these AI influencers who made videos on this model without actually testing it. I mean, think how crazy that is, right? You make a video on a new AI model, you just look at the benchmarks only. You don't bother testing it because you don't want to spend the $200 or you don't want to run it in API and, spend a few tokens on it. And you make a video on it completely telling everybody the model is terrible without trying it yourself. I mean, that's just crazy. Like, if you are an AI YouTuber or an AI influencer, it's literally your job to test the new AI models and to see what they're good at. So that's crazy that so many people rushed to make a video on it, didn't even test the model, told everybody that it's completely shit. Well, in reality, this model is super unique and using it just feels amazing. So let's see. I want to build a nice web app. However, I'm not sure what to build yet. It needs to be something visual and interactive. Give me 5 different ideas. Okay? And let's see how good this model is at working, because I'm telling you, while it's not as good at certain benchmarks as Grok 3 or Claude 3.7, this model is actually really, really nice to use. I mean, again, it's hard to describe, but you'll see. So again, the format is amazing. I like the way this model formats. Let's see, interactive mood board creator, real-time collaborative drawing app. Yeah, let's build the drawing app. What tech stack would you recommend and why? By the way, I have to give you guys a warning. Using this model like this inside of Cursor is only available on usage-based pricing, which means you have to front all the API costs. Just yesterday, in like 2 hours, I spent $144 in those 2 hours just using it inside of Cursor. That's why if you guys want to use it, I would highly recommend you use it inside of Vectel. Just go to vectel.ai and sign up for the Pro plan. It costs $30 a month, but it's much, much cheaper than the ChatGPT Pro plan for $200. I made sure that Vectel is the easiest and most affordable way to use this new model, because one of my core principles with Vectel is that it always needs to have the best AI models available in the world. So again, go to vectel.ai if you want to use it yourself and if you want to save money compared to using OpenAI or running it with your own API key. Anyways, let's see what tech stack it recommended. So React, HTML. Okay, so I'm going to say, good, let's use React then. How should I set my project up in my IDE? Give me clear and concise instructions. So I'm using plain English, right? You don't have to be a programmer. You don't have to know anything about front-end web development to build an app with these AI models. They will tell you everything. As long as you can describe your issue, describe your situation in clear English, they will do the rest. And look, oh my God, look how much this already did. This is crazy, right? So let's take it one step at a time. So we need to navigate to my workspace directory. So I'm here. And then we need to open the terminal. I'm going to follow the instructions it gives me. So let's copy this. Actually, we can just click run and it will run it ourselves. So you don't even need to copy paste it. I'm just going to do Y to accept, to proceed. Then we need to navigate to the front-end directory. Okay, let's do that. So let's do run. Boom, we're in the directory. I mean, this is amazing. Using Cursor Agent with GPT 4.5 is amazing, I'm telling you. Okay, then we need to npm install. Let's click on run. All I'm doing is clicking and typing in plain English. Guys, we're literally living in the future. If you aren't building something, if you aren't involved in AI, you're going to regret it. You're going to fall behind so hard. And in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I'm telling you, you're going to regret not taking this moment seriously. In the last 2 weeks, we have gotten Claude 3.7, Grok 3, and GPT 4.5. Guys, the progress is certainly not slowing down. You need to be using these models. You need to know when to use Grok 3, when to use Claude 3.7, and when to use GPT 4.5. And you need to have access to all of them. That's why I would highly recommend you get Cursor, learn how to use Cursor, get Vectel, move all of your tasks from Todoist or Notion into Vectel, where you can use these advanced AI agents to help you save time, do work for you. I mean, just in Vectel alone, we have Ultra Search, which is a better version of Deep Research. We have Reasoning, where you can choose between O3 Mini and DeepSeek R1. We have Claude 3.7, GPT 4.5, Infinite Thinking, which is a brand new feature that doesn't exist anywhere else. We have Tasks, we have Notes. This is all in a single AI tool for a single subscription of $30 a month. Obviously, you can get started for free, but if you want to use GPT 4.5, it's really not possible to serve that for free. So if you're one of those people who really like to be hyper productive and you want to use AI agents to save you time every single day, and you want unlimited access to Claude 3.7, O3 Mini, DeepSeek R1, go to vectel.ai and sign up for the account. And if you want to access GPT 4.5, make sure to subscribe to Vectel Pro. I promise you won't regret it. Okay, now back to Cursor, because building with this model is so fun. I mean, it's amazing. I highly recommend everybody to do this. So we did npm install, okay. Next is npm run dev. So let's run the app. All right, we have a bunch of errors. So I'm gonna simply do add to chat and say, when I did npm run dev, I got these errors. Explain what this is and how we can solve it. So again, I'm using cursor agent right here with GPT 4.5, and let's open the folder right here. I think the issue is that we don't have any app really. I think that's probably the issue, but yeah, we'll see. So error, no entity. In simple terms, it can't find package.json. Okay, so it is there. Oh, we weren't in the right folder. Okay, I see. Let's see if it figures that out. Oh yeah, it did figure it out. But your React project is in this folder. How to solve it? We need to cd into this app, okay? And then we need to run npm. We need to run this in this directory, okay? So, and there it is. So we do have it on this website, and this is what our website looks like right now. Obviously, it's the default project, nothing. But keep in mind, I was able to build this in like 1 minute. 1 minute from nothing to this. You know, I even used GPT 4.5 to choose the idea. So if you guys have an idea for that startup, you know, if you've been thinking about going into business for a few years, it's easier than ever before. It has never been easier to start your own business, to build your own startup. And with models like GPT 4.5, working with these models, it's actually a pleasure to use. This is like an amazing assistant to work with. I really can't stress it enough, guys. Like yesterday I had to, if I didn't go to the gym, I would just spend all day using this model. But I had a training session, so I needed to stop. But like this model is actually great to use. So let's continue. Okay, so I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna say, okay, now I can see the default app. See attached image. This model can accept images as well, which is amazing. What's next? Help me turn this into our idea. So again, I'm typing in very plain English. All of you can do this. This is still plain English, describing what I see, describing what the error is, and not taking the bugs and errors personally. It's one of the best things you can do. If you run into the error, do not stop. Do not get overwhelmed. Just take a deep breath, take a screenshot, describe it to the AI model, and continue. So let's see. Okay, it's suggesting to do this. So we need to open drawing canvas. Do we have this file or not? I don't know if we have this file or not. I'm gonna say, I don't think these files exist yet. Make sure to actually open or create these files and write the code yourself. So I'm gonna call it out a bit and let's see if it does that. All right, we got an error. Let's retry. It's not a personal error, you know, don't take it personally. Okay, so actually I probably know what the issue is. So I'm gonna do cursor, I'm gonna do file, close folder, and then I'm gonna open the folder directly. So I'm gonna open this folder. That way the cursor agent can act inside of it. And make sure GPT 4.5 is selected here. I'm gonna open some of these files, index css app.jsx, and then this is an important command in cursor, / add open files to context. You guys need to understand this. I use this every single day, / add open files to context, very powerful. I'm gonna give it the idea. I'm gonna say, help me build the front end for the idea above. Currently, we just have the default white React project. Make sure to actually change / create the files needed. All right, so now I tagged in the files and I'm in the right directory. Let's see what GPT 4.5 does. All right, let's approach this step by step, reasoning and planning. All right, it designs the necessary project structure. It's nice. Core components, Canvas, JSX, toolbar, chat. Okay, so already I like this. Most AI models here, they would just start coding right away without any planning, right? This is, and I can say this very confidently, I have over 600 hours inside of Cursor, mostly using Claude models, but also GPT models like O3 Mini or GPT-4o, right? So I know what I'm talking about here. I know how the models feel and I know what they're good at. This is exceptional. Instead of jumping right into coding, because my prompt said like, currently we have just the default project, make sure to actually change the files. So my prompt kind of hinted that it should jump to coding right away, but it recognized that first we need to plan it out. We need to design the project structure, define the core components, basic UI styling, and it created the plan without me telling it, start by creating a plan. If you looked into prompt engineering, you would know that for most models, you would actually need to tell it to create that plan, right? Well, this one did it itself. All right, so now it's creating a new Canvas JSX file. So let's review this. Okay, I'm gonna accept it. Let's switch to our Brave browser. Let's see if something changed. No. Probably, yeah, okay, we need to restart the terminal again. npm run dev. Again, this is the command it gave us. If you forgot, you would just ask it again. So our app is running again, but it's still being designed. So toolbar JSX. Okay, let's accept this. Let's review the next file, chat.jsx. Let's reload. Still, we don't see anything. It needs to update the main app, I think. Or it's doing that right now. All right. So let's review the next file. Boom. It's calling these components. Let's reload. And there it is. We have some app. Can we draw? We can draw. Wow. Can we pick the color? Okay, the color picker does not work yet. I'm going to say that. The color picker does not fully work yet. It's always drawing in black. Fix this. And again, that's all you need. You need to test it, describe what the issue is, clearly and thoroughly, don't give it useless stuff, but don't be super vague and confusing. I mean, that's literally how I built my own AI startup, Vector.ai. And currently this app does over $9,000 a month. And I built it using Cursor, speaking plain English to these AI tools, and I've documented all of it inside of the New Society. That's right, in the New Society classroom, in this How to Build an AI Startup module, you can see from day one all the mistakes I've made, how I choose the idea, literally from choosing the idea to creating the project inside of Cursor, literally what we did in this video for this project. You can see all of that, what I did for Vectel, and as it grew, as I released Infinite Thinking, added Claude 3.7, released Ultra Search, all of that is available in the New Society. So if you want to start your own AI business and you don't want to make the same mistakes I made, make sure to join the New Society. It's going to be linked below. And this is just one of many amazing resources we have in the classroom. So again, if you're serious about AI and you want to make sure that 2025 is the year where you get ahead of everybody else, start by joining the New Society, where you can network with over 700 other serious AI individuals on the cutting edge of AI and access all of the exclusive content and resources we have. The link is going to be below the video. Okay, let's see what Cursor cooked up here. So it changed multiple files, so I'm just gonna quickly accept all of them because we're vibe coding over here. And let's see how our app looks like that now. So did it fix the color picker? Let's try red. And red works. Wow. This is crazy. This is amazing. It actually works. Wow. Let's try a different color. Let's do blue. And blue works as well. Looks like in about 2 minutes, we've been able to build a drawing app from scratch, only typing in plain English and describing errors when we arrived. This is what I mean. This model is so nice to work with, so pleasant. It does exactly what you need it to do. Claude 3.7 on average is better at coding, but it oversteps. And for beginners, that can be very confusing. It always tries to do too much. Right now, if we use Claude 3.7, it would create like 5 more new files. It would run into way more bugs because it would try to write 200 lines of code per files. Look how efficient these files are. 49 lines of code, 13 lines of code. This is amazing. This is amazing performance by GPT 4.5. Anybody who tells you this sucks at coding hasn't used it. They haven't spent the nearly 500 that I spent. They haven't put in the hours like I did. Because if you really use this model, you will quickly fall in love with it. So again, if you want to use it, do not spend $200 in ChatGPT Pro like I did. Instead, go to Vector.ai, get Vector Pro for just $30, and you get this model alongside everything else, all the other AI agents Vector has to offer. With that being said, thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful rest of the week. See ya.